Rope dropping is a must if you want to make the most out of your Disney World vacation.
But have you really mastered it?
We're going to take you through all of our sneaky rope drop tricks here at Epcot and
Magic Kingdom.
ready, set, go.
Alright, so getting to Magic Kingdom is a little bit tricky. The best way is probably going to be by Disney Bus, Resort Boat, Monorail, or the walking path if it's available. Currently, while I'm filming this, it's a little bit under construction, so make sure you check that before you get here. But these options are all going to drop you off at the front gates of the park. Of course, if you aren't staying at a Disney resort, you won't necessarily have the same access to these options. You can come park at the TTC, the Ticket and Transportation Center, for a fee, and then you can utilize those options. If you are really wanting to be the first person at this turnstile, which I normally am, you can forego the traditional Disney transpo and spring for a minivan that can drop you as close as humanly possible. But today, I'm going to take the monorail.
Now, what is a rope drop? In the past, whenever Disney parks used to open, cast members would hold out a really large rope so no one could get past. When it was finally time for the park to open, cast members would drop the rope as a signal that the park was open. Guests would literally step over the rope and the day would begin. Rope drop is a pretty important tool for any Disney World day. The lines are always shorter in the morning, which means that is the perfect time to wait for those really popular attractions.
However, with virtual queues, individual lightning lanes, selections, and Genie Plus, rope dropping is not super simple. There are also a few tricks that you might not expect, like not rope dropping the most popular attractions. But don't worry, we're gonna go on this bumpy ride together. I'm here this morning, it is 7:30. The park technically does not open until 8 unless you have early entry. So if you're staying at a select Disney World resort, you can have access to early entry. And early entry allows guests to enter the park about 30 minutes earlier than guests staying off of Disney property. At Magic Kingdom, you're only gonna have access to half of the park, and that is Tomorrowland and Fantasyland. This will be your time to really hit those big attractions that will get wait times pretty high later in the day, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan's Flight, and Space Mountain.
But again, early entrance is only for select Disney World resort guests. So if you're curious as to know what Disney resorts those are, check out our site, AllEars.net, for more.
Now, I will say this is a great example of make sure if you are not staying on property, you know what you have access to, and if you are staying on property, know what rides are open. So right now, I am not staying at a Disney resort, so it really doesn't make a lot of sense for me to rope drop Tomorrowland and Fantasyland, because the wait times will already be high by the time I get access to those. So I'm gonna head towards Adventureland and wait it out.
Don't forget, you can't rope drop Cosmic Rewind. Currently, this is the only attraction with a virtual queue, which means you have to use your My Disney Experience app to get in the virtual queue to ride this attraction. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is a coaster attraction. It's a very thrilling attraction, and it's one of the newest here at Epcot. I always like to compare it to 3 different things. It's like if Rock and Roller Coaster, Space Mountain, and Escape from Gringotts at Universal Studios all had a baby. It's an extremely smooth coaster with a randomizer music selection, where each time you might get a different song. And it is the only Marvel attraction here at Disney World, which is very cool to start getting some Marvel here at Disney World. Now, I know it can get confusing, booking either Genie Plus or virtual queue. I definitely try recommending to book the virtual queue first. Why? Because it's free and it's the most likely to fill up the quickest. Then if you miss the virtual queue, definitely spring for the Genie Plus. Then you'll be able to get in this attraction for the Lightning Lane. It's worth it that way.
So while the park might technically not be open for another 30 minutes, I do think it's personally worth getting here about 30 minutes early, because you do have access to Main Street and you can come line up where you want to rope drop, just like I have.
Now at Epcot, you can arrive early, but you can't go that far. The entrance is literally just before Spaceship Earth, and it's actually rope dropped. But it is a good moment to grab some pictures with the icon. And sometimes if you get here early enough, the Jammers, which is an awesome drum stomp group, they're drumming on trash cans and buckets and even their helmets. If you get here early enough, you might catch a special performance from them.
So here we are. I am headed to Jungle Cruise for my first rope drop of the day. It looks like I am the second family in line, maybe the third. I say family, I'm by myself. Jungle Cruise, if you haven't been able to check it out, is a fun adventure through the jungle, and you have a skipper who tells some funny dad jokes, and it's really neat. It's cool. This is a really popular ride here in Magic Kingdom. It has semi-low capacity, so that means they can't get as many guests on it, so that means wait times get pretty high. So we highly suggest rope dropping this one, or grabbing a Genie Plus Lightning Lane for it first, because it will go quickly.
Over at Epcot, things can get pretty confusing with all the construction. The entire park is literally filled with the question, left or right? Left or right at the golf ball, left or right at World Showcase. I mean, there's a lot of decisions to be made. Going right when you want to go to Test Track is gonna mess up your entire morning. You could lose almost 10 to 15 minutes because of these construction walls you can't cut through anymore. You have to go all the way around. You'd be making a full circle in order to get to the ride that you want to get to. And 10 to 15 minutes is valuable rope drop time. So don't miss out on that time and map out your route.
All right, it is 8:13, and I was on the first boat of the day. We are now going to try to go ahead and head towards Pirates of the Caribbean. It was showing a 10-minute wait. Traditionally at this point, we suggest going towards Pirates or Big Thunder Mountain, whichever has the lowest wait, but they're both at 5 and 10, which isn't that big of a difference. So I'm going to save some walking time and go to the one I hit first, which is going to be Pirates. One thing about Magic Kingdom is it is huge. There are lots of different paths to get to these same places. For example, if you're trying to get to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, avoid going up the ramps into Fantasyland and look out for that bridge between Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Cosmic Ray will be on your right, and it's the quickest route to get to that destination. You can actually grab a map at the front of the park if you want to, but my recommendation is kind of mapping your way out before you get to Magic Kingdom on the My Disney Experience app before your day in the park.
There are 2 full entrances to Epcot. Now, other than the one in the front where, the big ball, the Spaceship Earth, that's the main entrance. But there's actually a second entrance all the way in the back of the park at World Showcase called the International Gateway. Now, this is great for guests staying at the boardwalk, Yacht and Beach Club, Swan and Dolphin. They all have access to this entrance. Also, anyone who has access to the Skyliner has access to the International Gateway. So I'm talking about Pop Century, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach Resort, Riviera Resort has access too. Now, for anyone using the International Gateway, here's my tip for you. If you're gonna rope drop anything, I highly recommend rope dropping Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. It's the closest ride to you, and it often has some pretty crazy high wait times throughout the course of the day. So if you're using International Gateway, you're gonna come out of the International Gateway, hang a ride, go immediately into France, immediately to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a trackless dark ride that takes you through the Pixar movie Ratatouille. You are shrunken down to the size of a rat and you're helping Remy navigate through this kitchen. It is definitely a family-friendly attraction. It is almost identical, if not completely identical, to what they have over in Disneyland Paris. It originated over there and they basically copy and pasted it here in Epcot. Now, if you don't have access to the International Gateway and you're coming to the entrance, the main entrance of the park, we always recommend typically rope dropping Test Track instead. You can always attempt rope dropping Remy's, but because of the International Gateway and early entry, Quincy and I tried to do this once for when Instagram controlled our entire day, and by the time we rope dropped, we started talking at 8:30 in the morning. By the time we got there to Remy's from the front of the park, because it's about a 10-minute trek, it was almost a 100-minute wait already, so take that for what it's worth.
Okay friends, it's 8:26. I just hopped off of Pirates, so we've done 2 of the most popular rides in the park, and now I just checked as I was walking, and Big Thunder Mountain is actually showing a 15-minute wait, so we're gonna head towards Big Thunder. Another tip we love to give people is to grab an advanced dining reservation for breakfast before the park opens. So places like Be Our Guest will do breakfast before the park opens. You can even have some uninterrupted pictures in an empty Disney park as well as getting ahead of those lines. All right, so we made it out of Adventureland and we have headed into Frontierland to go to Big Thunder Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain is an outdoor coaster that takes you on the wildest ride in the wilderness. And right now it's saying it's a 15-minute wait.
Now, I always recommend rope dropping Test Track because that line is going to get crazy bonkers. Now, Test Track is a high-speed thrill ride that lets you design your own vehicle and then test it out. We're talking about testing out temperatures, control, responsiveness, and speed. Power, baby. This attraction will actually take you up to 64.9 miles an hour. And at the end of the attraction, you can actually see how your car design compared to other people in your vehicle and to see if you got the overall score of the day, which is pretty cool. If you're willing to do the single rider lane where you will 99.99% be split up with your party, it is often a much, much shorter wait than the standby wait. For example, right now the standby wait is already up to 50 minutes, and the single rider attraction, I just asked the person, they said it's probably going to be about a 10-minute wait. So if you're willing to split up from your party, ride the single rider lane here at Test Track, then you'll basically lengthen your rope drop time, and you might be able to rope drop another attraction, which is pretty cool.
So if you know anything about the AllEars team, specifically me and Quincy, we love our coffee, Joffrey, Starbucks, whatever we can get our hands on. When it comes to rope drop, we definitely recommend skipping that coffee, and that's pretty big coming from me. If you want a coffee with way shorter lines, we recommend going to the Joffrey's at the TTC, the Ticket and Transportation Center. But really what I recommend is skipping it altogether or getting it at your resort before you leave. We traditionally will do our rope drop and then grab a coffee after, but that's up to you. It just saves time to avoid it early in the mornings. So one thing we also suggest is to avoid rope dropping Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It is a super stressful, and unfortunately everybody kind of has the same idea. Plus Fantasyland opens early, so sometimes the lower weight drop time just won't exist for Seven Dwarfs. For example, when I was here today, it was 75 minutes before the park even opened. We recommend grabbing Genie Plus for Peter Pan's Flight or Jungle Cruise starting at 7 a.m. And then after that, if you are staying on Disney property, you can grab a Seven Dwarfs Mine Train individual lightning lane, which is a separate charge. If you are not staying on Disney property, you can buy that when the park opens. For me today, it was 8, but make sure you check so that way if it's a later time or an earlier time, you're gonna know. If you are not utilizing Genie Plus when you are here, we actually recommend waiting until the very last minute, the end of the day, to get in line for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It is a lot quicker, you're gonna wait in a lot less time, and you're gonna be able to enjoy the ride and enjoy a lot more things in Magic Kingdom during the day. Also, if you aren't sure what Genie Plus is, that is Disney's Skip the Line service. So there are 3 different tiers to Genie. First is Genie Plus, that is the free version. On the My Disney Experience app, you have your tip board. Disney will suggest things for you to do and what times, and you can utilize that for free. The second one is Genie Plus. That is the first paid tier, and you're going to get to skip at least a guaranteed 2 to 3 rides in every single park utilizing that system. And then the third tier is the individual lightning lane tier. That is where you can buy an individual lightning lane. There is one per park. Magic Kingdom's is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train for an additional charge that can range based on crowds. All right, so here it is. It is still saying 13 minutes as I walk up. We are going to see, there were quite a few people hopping in line around the same time that I did, but here we go, standby line. The Haunted Mansion is a really fun, slow-moving dark ride that takes you through a haunted mansion, but don't worry, it's not scary, it's more funny and silly, but there are a few moments that you're in the dark. Some small things might pop out, so if your kiddos are scared of that, be aware.
Whatever you do, don't get swayed by the big golf ball. Now, Spaceship Earth might be the icon of the park, but it is one of the shorter waits in the entire park, other than Living with the Land. Spaceship Earth is a slow-moving omni-ride, dark ride attraction. Because it's at the front of the park, it's very easy to go, quick, here's a ride, let's hop on. Well, this is going to have a shorter wait probably throughout the entire day. So head to some of those more popular attractions like Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Test Track, Soarin', whatever. Spaceship Earth will be here for you. I recommend doing Spaceship Earth at the very last seconds. It's the way that I love to end my day at Epcot. You can also ride Spaceship Earth in the middle of the day when these higher popular attractions have crazy high wait times. Today's Spaceship Earth will probably have a lower wait time, so wait 10-15 minutes for this attraction as opposed to 90 minutes for something else in the middle of the day. Super worth it. So avoid Spaceship Earth first thing in the morning.
All right, so here we are. We just hopped off of Mansion. It is 9:05, and remember that ride that I just walked on that took me about 4 minutes to get on Haunted Mansion? That one? Yeah, it's a 40-minute wait now with the wait time line all the way out of the queue. So rope drop secrets, baby. Sneaky tips. Rope drop is not technically over. I could keep going, but if you're not looking to zigzag back and forth across the park, this is pretty much it. Everything is now getting up to 30+ minute wait times. The only thing that I still would recommend riding at this point is Buzz Lightyear, which is about 5 minutes, because Buzz can get pretty high, but for us, this was our rope drop strategy. This was my goal, was to get through these 4 main rides in an hour, and we did that successfully.
Depending on capacity, you can see lower wait times throughout the entire morning, not just the first 30 minutes to the hour, the entire morning. That could last up to 10:30 or 11 o'clock. again, depending on capacity. So keep moving in the morning, keep moving, hit as many rides as you can before you hit that midday peak. And when you do see that midday peak begin to start, that's the time to slow down a bit, grab a bite to eat, and maybe see some live entertainment, because hashtag live entertainment is important.
Alrighty friends, so that is it for our sneaky rope drop secrets here in Magic Kingdom in Epcot.
If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Now go watch Quincy and I give you all the sneaky ride tricks here at Epcot. Bye.